Just a reminder that I have a Patreon page. If you want to support me or see these reviews earlier, feel free to become a patron on there for just $3 a month. And if you want to see my art I make, follow my Twitter on @AnimalsWithEars. Links to both of these are available in the description. Now with the plugs aside, let's get on with the video.
Cause this is what you need. And you don't stop, you proceed. Cause this is what you need. And you don't stop, you proceed. Cause this is what you need. You proceed, proceed. Cause this is what you need. Cause this is what, this is what, this is, this is what, this is what, this is, this is what, this is what, this is, this is what you need, what you need. This is what, this is what, this is, this is what, this is what, this is, this is what, this is what, this is what, this is.
Alright, heads up, the recording, well, the original recording for this review is super fucking old. Like, older than the release date of fucking Caligon. So, yeah, you're gonna have to deal with me sometimes butting in to give a little update because, if you couldn't tell enough, a couple months, like a month or two before a game releases and making a recording kind of causes some updates to happen along the way, such as the game releasing, first of all, and some other stuff surrounding that. So you're gonna have to deal with me just jumping in and either just editing a part out and replacing it with the current recording, or just giving a little bit of extra information that could make into a splice. So enjoy the video and enjoy the difference in my voice. This is the F train, the backup line. Now the F starts at Calgary Street and goes down the Caligon line local towards Richworth Island, that being the last stop. Now since this is a F ripoff, there's also the Diamond F, which does the same thing but express, however this time it's a reserve bullet only. And also because it's just an Easter egg route, the F Diamond doesn't go actually express. And since we're talking about express, there's also the V train, which also does the same thing as the F, but express. And since we're talking about the V train, there's also the V train, which starts at Pennsylvania Avenue with the B, J, and M trains. The last two instantly splitting from the V, and the V goes over the Minikami crossing and into Herald Square. This time, however, you don't meet the C, E, or K trains. The V goes local and the B goes express on 5th Avenue, and at 57th Street, the B train leaves the V behind to go to Waterside Boulevard, while the V goes towards Union Turnpike, that being the last stop. Now the trains the F and the V uses is just basically any SME. Though for the sake of the video, NTTs were also used. In the trains the other V used was the R68, R160s, and KP96s. Forgot to say, but the V also uses R46s. Now, it shouldn't go without saying the F and V were just temporary replacement lines, when a part of the system wasn't really available. But they were some of the most iconic lines in PTA. The 5th Avenue V isn't that well known, but it existed and I love it. Currently, the only surviving factor of the F and V in the system is just bullets and NTT programs. Now I'll begin with the history trip. This is going to be the dev history only, as the 5th Avenue V is the only one that's canon right now. Except it isn't anymore. It was confirmed to be not canon to me on the Analysis GC a while earlier in the month. Yeah, the Fifth Avenue V isn't canon anymore. Now it's just B trains going to Union Turnpike. It sucks ass, but it's there. The F train, along with the A, was the first ever line in PTA. It ran express on the line and split it south. The F would only be running in this form for one concept map. The F would later return on the June 7th concept map with the V train, running from Fordham, 109th Street in Catlin to Ridgeworth Island via what's currently the East End line, while the V will run to Calgary Street. This would technically stay, however the V train was taken out, only appearing on the June 17th map, which is a single terminating bullet at Calgary Street. The F in its early planning stage ran from Ridgeworth Island to, I think, Herald Square via the Baby line. I'm not actually so sure though. Ridgeworth Island is actually just the only station here with an F bullet. So it might be Herald Square, it might be Calgary Street, I don't fucking know. It was later shortened to Calgary Street on the June 21st map, and on the July 29th map, the F would have a part-time terminus at Herald Square, along with the B. On the September 3rd map, the F Diamond would be added as a rush hour variant to Herald Square, running express in the P direction. This would be the F train's final map appearance before September 25th. With the introduction of the N and Q trains, the Bayview line would be absorbed into the Callaghan line, and the F would be discontinued. The F and the V would become canon at around December or January, when the Stemhill derailment in 1988 happened and the Callaghan line was shut off from Madison. So the F and the V became the temporary replacement lines running the F's old route to Ridgeworth Island from Calgary Street. However, recently, the yellow B and D now work as the N and Q's replacements, so the F and V are now back to being reserved. However, NTT announcements and programs are still planned to be added for the two. And in an update, after the Callaghan line release, the F and V did get announcements. And now onto the Fifth Avenue V. Basically, on October of 2021, Oahui fucked over access to Garcia, so to not overcomplicate things, the V was shoved back in as a replacement for the E and K, with it being a shuttle from Union Turnpike to 57th Street during late nights. It would only last for one night until access to Garcia was restored. The F is currently planned to become a crosstown line running with the G as an express counterpart. I'll make a review on the F train again once the line starts to become whole. I'll probably make it a dual review with the G. So overall, the F and V were some alright lines for what they were meant to be. Backup, replacement for when a line is out of action, and they were pretty damn good at their job. The yellow B and D are okay as their replacements, but I only see them as just foam material. It's just not the same. The Fifth Avenue V was also alright, but never really got a chance to come up that well known due to its short time being in service, so I'll just give the trivia. Yellow F and V bullets fucking exist thanks to Grand Central. The F train was voiced by me, while the V, and theoretically the Fifth Avenue V too, was voiced by Blocks. Okay, late in June, a bit before the N and Q game released, the roles were kind of changed up, and I don't voice the F anymore, and Blocks doesn't voice the V anymore. And why is that? Reshuffling. A little bit of a reshuffle happened because inconsistency issues, and now Grant voices the F and V too. Also the green one. So hear that, but also at the end of the video you can also hear my version of the F announcements. I might make an actual video based around the F announcements too, if I want to. So, yeah, here's Grant's voice. You know, I'm still not over that.
This is a Calgary Street bound V express train.
The next and last stop is Calgary Street.
The F has the most amount of service changes out of canon of all the lines in PTA, that being 8. The B and D have 5, the E, J, and M have 4, the 4, 7, 11, K, and Q have 2, and the entirety of Chambers Street and Blockway have 2, and the rest have either 1 or none at all. The voices I used for V train announcements were used for the PX0A11 announcements. Pretty funny, right? Small trivia this time too. So I'll give the Callaghan F and V a 9 out of 10, and the Fifth Avenue V a 9.9 out of 10, for obvious reasons. They're just way too iconic to rate any lower. So now, this is Abby from Multitopic telling you to stand clear of the fucking doors.
Proceed, cause this is what you need. And you don't stop, you proceed, cause this is what you need. And you don't stop, you proceed, cause this is what you need. You proceed, proceed, cause this is what you need. Cause this is what proceed. This is what you need, what you need. You proceed, cause this is what you need. And you don't stop, you proceed, cause this is what you need. And you don't stop, you proceed, cause this is what you need. You proceed, proceed, cause this is what you need. Cause this is what, 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 this is what you need, what you need. This is what, 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 this is what you need.
This is a Calgary Street bound F local train. The next and last stop is Calgary Street. This is Calgary Street. Transfer is available to the B, J, M, and V trains.
You proceed.